welcome to Rosberry Crafts, my YouTube channel where I share all my crafty adventures. Today we are at episode 11. I'd like to say welcome to all new subscribers and thank you to any returning subscribers. Thanks for watching. My name is Roz and I live in Lake Country, British Columbia in Canada. I live with my husband and my two kids who are 11 and 9. Now, Lake Country is kind of near Kelowna, in between Kelowna and Vernon, and it's called Lake Country because there are 4 lakes in the area, and some of which are bigger than others, but we overlook Wood Lake. So we have a beautiful view and a beautiful home here in Lake Country. Today we have What Am I Wearing? Finished objects, works in progress, acquisitions, and some chit chat. So let's get started. What am I wearing? Today I am wearing a shawl called 1,000 Tulips, and it is by Martina Bain. I knit this shawl out of some wool mice that I got from a D-stash. So it didn't take all 3 skeins, but it did take like a good 2.5 skeins, and those are big skeins. So this was a very large project. It's currently wrapped around me 3 times, well, almost 3 times. So it's a very large shawl, and you can check out my project page on Ravelry for more pictures. And it was very fun knit. I knit this while we were on an 8-week trip in our camping trailer in 2018. So in the summer of 2018, I knit most of it during that trip and then finished it off when we got home. But it was a great project because it is a very repetitive pattern, and so it's something that I could work on while we were driving or sitting in the evening. So that was great. Next up is finished objects. So I have 3 finished objects for you today. The first one is a long-term finished object that I'm sure you guys are as relieved as I am that I completed my son's sweater for his 11th birthday, with 2 days to spare, no less. So here it is. It's going to be difficult to show you the whole thing, and I will put in some pictures as well, but here it is. Finished. Da, da, da. I am super happy with how it came out. It was a challenge for some portions, and I definitely learned some new techniques. If you watch the last episode, you'll see me doing a good portion of the duplicate stitch that I did for the C on the front. You will see in the pictures, which I will put in at some point here, how happy he was to receive it. And this is why my son is so knitworthy. He was very impressed. He had no idea when I knit this, even though I was knitting it in front of him very often. But anyway, he is very knitworthy and he is very excited to wear it. It is getting close to springtime here, so I don't know how much he'll wear it, but it is long on him, which is good, and it will fit him for a while. So super happy with how that turned out. Again, the pattern is the Mrs. Weasley sweater, and it is in the official Harry Potter knitting book. I can't remember exactly what it's called, but I will link to it down below along with everything else I talk about today. You can also find show notes on Ravelry in my Ravelry group. And it is so that is the pattern, and it is knit out of the Knit Picks Swish DK in Dusk. I think the blue is called Dusk, and the other one, the gray color, is called Squirrel Heather, maybe? Not quite sure. But again, I will link to it down below. So that was a big finished project off my needles. And I literally had to pull it out of the wash because he's been wearing it. So that's super exciting. And next, I don't have the finished object to show you, but I will put a picture in right here. I finished the classic ribbed hat for my friend. So I don't know what this yarn was, and I guessed it was about a DK weight yarn. So yeah, it worked out really well in the hat. He loves it, and yep, it's a basic hat, classic ribbed hat. Makes you think basic hat, but it worked up super quick, and it fits great, and I could definitely see doing this hat in the future. I think it's a really good style for a men's hat or a boy's hat, and it could fit a bunch of different head sizes easily because of the 1x1 rib. You could make it in one size and it would fit multiple heads. So you can make it extra long, they can fold it up and all that kind of stuff. So that was a really good pattern by Pearl Soho. Blah, blah. Difficult to say. The last item is some mask mates. And you may have seen these, and I've been thinking about making them for a while. But what it is that you hook your face mask onto each of these buttons, and this goes along the back of your head, and it saves your ears from having the cord of the mask pulling on them. So in these pandemic times, I am now back in the office and I wear a mask all day, every day. So this has really been helpful for me to, just put my mask in a slightly different position, but still keep it on my face and save my ears. I did make 4 of these because I work 4 days a week. And this is the shorter one. And I made a longer one. Let's see if we can line them up here. So just a little bit of difference, but I think I'm going to stick with the longer one, because it worked really good though, having the buttons, and I kind of just put it down at the back of my neck. If I had my hair down, then it would be under my hair, and it just allows you to just kind of keep your mask on, but not have it pulling so much on the back of your ears. It still pulls on the bridge of your ear right at the top there, but it does help a lot with that. So it just changes it up so it's not always constantly on one spot. So I'd definitely be making more of those and gifting them to friends and family because they're super helpful. And on that note, I did actually finish sewed up a bunch of new masks because we've been in this for a year now, and I made a bunch around this time last year. And you know what? They get worn out. They get, used up, forgotten places. So I sewed up a bunch of more masks, which I don't have at the table with me. But if I remember, I will put in some pictures. So I sewed up a few extra for me, and I gifted a few, and the kids now have enough for that as well. So that is a continuing, ongoing project to make sure we have enough face coverings. So that is that. And I just made them out of some leftovers. I have a bunch of leftover cotton. There's some cream and some pinks. And I have a little bit of blue left. Oh, my hair is covering all of it. So I'm just going to use all of that up. And that's in my bee project bag, which was made by Carla of Relentless Knitting. I actually won this at Yarn Okanagan, one of their winery event nights. So that was super fun. I got some goodies in there as well. And we were at actually a honey wine place where they make honey wine. It's delicious. You definitely should check it out. And I can't remember the name of it, but again, I will link to everything I'm talking about down below. But at this winery, they had like beeswax things and soaps and wine and all good things. So that was super awesome. So that is my 3 finished objects for the week, and we're on to works in progress. All right, so my first work in progress, I don't actually have anything to show for it because it's not really a work in progress. It is my teal socks. I have not cast on the second one yet. It's just kind of sitting in timeout. And that's about it. I'm not even going to show it because there's nothing really to show. So moving on to my next work in progress. And this one I did work on a little bit, and that is my twinkle socks. Whoop. It's now on 2 different needles because I am at the portion where I'm going to start the color work. So, whoops, let's show that side so you can see. So I've finished all the way up to where we're going to start the color work portion in the cuff, and then there's a bit of ribbing, and then I still have to do the heel, but there they are. They're on 2 separate needles because for the color work I will be using a bigger needle size. Because color work just is tighter than just plain knitting with one. Just the way that the yarn in the back, the floats and everything, just it snugs it up a lot more. So you definitely should go up a needle size, if not 2. Short story about that. I got it in my mind that I could play some games. So we play Dungeons and Dragons online via Zoom, and I somehow got it in my mind that I could play Dungeons and Dragons and do color work on a sock. Now, it didn't look too bad, but the floats were not consistent. It was very difficult to follow, and I had to, think back a bunch of times and redo sections. And then it wouldn't even fit over the ball of my foot. It was very tight. So, I'm not even sure that I went up a needle size because I wasn't really paying attention. And that is really something you should pay attention for. So I had to rip it all out. Anyway, I will be doing the color work at some point when I can sit down and focus on it and just work away on that. It won't take long. It's only a short section of it. And I am actually this time I am going to go up another needle size. So it'll be 2 needle sizes up, and I'm going to knit it inside out. Now, you're still knitting with the right side facing you, but when you're knitting it, you just flip the whole thing and then you knit on the far side instead of the close side. So you're still knitting around, but your floats are then on the outside of the work as you're working on it, and it gives it a bit more ease when you turn it inside out. It gives it a bit more ease on the floats. So then when you're putting it on, they have more stretch to them and you're able to get your sock on your foot. So that is my plan for that. Again, this is in one of the project bags that I made myself. I really like this one with the green, nice spring colors. But that is the twinkle socks. They are ready for the color work, and I am so excited for that. But again, it takes concentration. So, finding time to do that, no problem. And I have one more project. So again, this is the same bottom fabric with a different top on a bag that I made myself. And I started another pair of fingerless mitts. So, and I don't know how well this is showing up on the video. This yarn looks very purple, but it is actually mostly like bits of blue and red with kind of a gray purple as well. Like it's a speckled yarn. It's very speckly. Anyway, so these are going to be the Dream Fingerless Mitts. This is a pattern by Marsha, and I did test knit this pattern for her. So it's lovely to be able to using this again. So I've just started the ribbing for these, and these are going to be some video game mitts. So my 11-year-old son asked if I would knit him some fingerless mitts because his hands get cold when he plays video games in the basement. So I feel like it's spoiling him a little bit, but I mean, he's knit-worthy. He'll wear them. He really likes the color. He's super excited about them. And let's see if I can hold up one of the balls of yarn. So this is a Knit Picks Stroll Fingering in Sprinkle Heather. So when you're just looking at it, like if you just kind of glanced at it, it definitely has a purple hue, but it is definitely like a gray, green, blue, and red, like heathering to it. It's not a solid color. So yeah, I'm very excited about those. So, and those are coming along. I only, worked on them for a little bit so far, but I'm sure those will be pretty fast. So hopefully he'll have those soon. Seems like I'm working with a lot of fingering weight yarn though, so I might have to cast on like a worsted weight hat or something just to give my hands a bit of a change. Maybe I should just cast on the sweater I want to make. Ideas. So many ideas. I don't have a what's next on my needles right now because I feel like I've got 3 projects on the go and I really want to get them done, so I don't really want to cast on anything else. But I kind of do want to cast on something else, I'm sure you guys understand. That's it for works in progress, and we're up to acquisitions. So for acquisitions today, I have a bit of a story, as I usually do. So I had talked earlier in January about keeping track of the amount of yarn that I have coming into the house and the amount of yarn that I've used up in projects and trying to overall decrease that number. And I can't remember exactly what I said, but in a couple months I will be doing a bit of a review on that. So yeah, I was like, well, I can't buy any yarn unless I'm going to use up some of the yarn that I already have. But, when your husband requests socks and he wears them all the time, I want to oblige. I want him to be able to have those socks. Let's see, I think it's in this bag. So I went to wash my husband's socks, and these are ones I made a couple years ago. And hopefully you can see that. Maybe I didn't bring my sock blockers up because, podcaster fail. But you can see right there is a giant hole in the bottom of his sock. And he does wear his socks fairly often. He does often wear them in his shoes. But, the heels are a place that get worn. Everywhere else looks really good, like on the bottom of the foot looks really good. It's just that part of the heel is just wearing out. And I do have leftovers of this yarn. And that's the one foot. There's the other heel. Let's see if I can kind of spread that out. That one doesn't look so bad, but you can see that it is getting a bit thin. So now that I know how to duplicate stitch, I am going to use, if I can find it here, I have this much, which is like a good solid little ball. So I'm going to duplicate stitch over top of those, and then he'll be able to wear his socks. The other, he had 4 pairs. 2 of them are the mustache Harry Potter colorways. These are a Sea Turtle Fiber Arts in a random color that she sent me as like a bonus skein, which is super awesome, and super cool colors for him. And then the last ones were some Patton's Croy yarn. And Patton's Croy is a great workhorse yarn, and I really enjoy it as socks. But it was a bit scratchy, and the socks were, a little bit snug on his feet. I made them a little bit smaller just by chance. So they turned out a bit snug, and they fit me. So I'm going to wear them. They're a bit looser on me, but that's okay. They're good for house socks and all that kind of stuff. So I'm wearing those now. So now he's down 2 pairs of socks. These ones I'm going to fix, and the other ones I took for me. So he really likes the feel of the yarn, of the mustache yarn. And I know there's lots of other dyers out there that do it, but he also really likes the themes that Mustache puts out. And so I was able to score myself some Bounty Hunter. It's hard to see. There is like a red stripe and a yellow stripe, and then there's the green and gray, and then there's some speckling. You'll see it once I wind it up, because I'm probably going to wind this one up pretty quick and get some socks on the needles for him in this. So this is from Mustache Yarns, and this is one of her perfect self-striping socks. So what happens is right at the beginning, there are two skeins that are dyed together in the same exact way, and they are identical. So you start them at the same point and you get the same sock, and I will be using the same pattern. He really likes that vanilla reversed pattern. So yeah, I'm gonna be casting those on soon, you know, when I cast off some other socks. So that's the Bounty Hunter. And while I was on there, I was talking to them, they sent me their super secret page for their mill ends, because I was asking about some other ones to see what they had, and they're not dyeing any more Star Wars colorways or they won't be releasing them until their May the 4th update. So these are some mill ends that I got. So this one is the Hogwarts colorway, and I already made my husband socks out of this one, and it's a 94-gram skein, so that's like plenty to make another pair of socks. So he may be getting another pair of Hogwarts socks, or maybe it'll be for somebody else, who knows, but almost full skein of Hogwarts socks, and of course because they're Millens, they are discounted, so that is super cool. And this one is definitely for me. This is called Beauty and Her Beast. And so it goes through the colors in a like multiple kind of sets of colors of the Beast colors and her colors. So there's a bit of brown, blue, green, yellow, pink, purple, like I'm so excited about these. And there is 86 grams, so there's plenty to make socks for me. Even if I do something else for like the heel and toe and cuff, I have plenty tall socks for me. And the last one, I've been wanting to try this colorway for a while. This is Tokyo Go-Go. There's only 33 grams of this, but I made myself a pair of shorty socks. And I think that I am going to use this. I've got to unwind it and see what there is and see how I can divide it up. But I think I'm going to use this to make a pair of shorty socks. Again, I'll use something for the cuff and the toe and the heel, an alternate color, which I have lots of Knit Picks sock yarn that will fit nicely with any of these because it's kind of a rainbow thing going on there. So yeah, so that is my acquisitions. I couldn't help myself. Love the mustache. And that is it for the yarny topics today. The last section is just going to be a little bit of chit chat and, stuff that's going on in my life. All right, so the last section, we're just chit-chatting away here. We just finished spring break for the kids. It was good, it was fine. The kids stayed at home, of course, because that's all we can do. I'm super lucky that my husband is working from home, and he basically took care of the kids for 2 weeks. So, we didn't get to do too many things. There isn't much to do right now. I've been pretty busy at my work since I work at a landscaping place. The season is just starting and picking up, and everything is happening, and lots of stuff to do that kind of to start up the year. So that's been very busy and taking up a lot of my mental space. Recently, we had a health update that we were allowed to get together with people outside. So we took advantage of that. And we've been over to our friend's yard and we had people over to our front deck. We were able to watch one of the rugby games from a projector on our front deck, and it was super fun. And the kids are able to play out in the yard, and just makes something to look forward to on the weekends, makes everybody happy. And spring is here. We've been sitting outside on the deck, we've been going for lots of walks and just being outside as much as possible, enjoying the sunny weather. And I mean, when I say spring is here, it's like 10 degrees outside, not 20 or 25 like it will be, but we'll take it. It's better than -10. So, which also means that quadding season is just around the corner. So that will also be super fun. My husband's been working hard on getting our trailer set up so that we're able to do a few more things with it. And this year we're going to be camping in it. So we'll be sleeping in our enclosed trailer where we normally keep our quads. And that will allow us to have more time to quadding because we'll be able to stay over and get 2 days of quadding in. So that will be wonderful. That's about it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and see you next time. Bye. Oh man, if you guys could see what my husband is doing right there.
Whoa. This is a For Everybody podcast.
It is, Michael.
I'm super appreciative of my socks. Thank you so much.